Hello, I am Diego Marcos, and this is the video tutorial of ITACA, a neurofeedback training application for MEDUSA. Neurofeedback is an interesting paradigm that allows us to voluntarily modulate our brain activity patterns. This is done through a closed-loop system that provides feedback related to that brain activity. Neurofeedback has been shown to induce neural plasticity. Therefore, this paradigm is of great interest as non-pharmacological and non-invasive alternative to treat non-degenerative brain disorders, such as attentional deficit and hyperactivity disorder. In addition, it has also been proposed as a method to improve cognitive abilities in healthy people. Our application provides a wide range of functionalities to design and conduct your neurofeedback training studies. Now, let's take a look at these highlights. To begin with, ITACA provides numerous real-time analysis metrics, that is, metrics to analyze brain patterns and provide feedback to modulate them. Among the metrics included, we can find the spectral power of a frequency band, or the ratio between the power of different frequency bands. In addition, novel metrics based on functional connectivity and network theory have been implemented. Secondly, ITACA offers 3 different training scenarios, each with a different gamified design and different objectives. This makes it possible to combine them in your experimental protocols to adjust the difficulty of the session to the user's performance, and avoid the motivation due to tedious repetition of the same training scenario. To get a better overview of the available ITACA settings, let's see how to configure the application for a hypothetical neurofeedback training session. Okay, first of all, we must be sure that our EEG signal is being broadcast through the lab stream layer protocol and is connected to the MEDUSA platform. Otherwise, the configuration panel won't open. The first panel we see is the general settings. Here, we can set the information about the session. On the right, we can choose one of the 3 training scenarios. For example, we want to use trip-specific scenario. In neurofeedback training mode, we can choose from the real-time analysis metrics to calculate the feedback. Let's select the node strength and the orthogonalized amplitude envelope correlation to obtain the functional connectivity values for the strength calculation. Finally, we select the offset channel to receive the feedback values from that brain region. Now, let's move to the neurofeedback settings. There, we set the frequency range between 4 and 8 Hz. That is, the node strength will be calculated on the filtered signal at that frequency band. Let's leave the option to increase activity checked, as we want the user to increase the chosen metric during training. Also, check the noise option to prevent feedback from being influenced by non-brain artifacts. These values indicate that whenever epochs whose variance is 90% greater than the variance of the signal recorded at rest will not be taken into account for the feedback calculation. In the signal processing settings, we select a time window of 1 second. In other words, the node strength will be calculated using the last second of the received signal. To get information about the update frequency of the feedback during neurofeedback training, we check the Show Update Frequency box. We don't load any baseline recording, as we want to perform the baseline just before the neurofeedback training. Now, let's define the time structure of the run. We want to perform 5 trials of 20 seconds each. That means that if the user doesn't reach the goal before that time, the trial will be finished. We can also set the time between the trials and the time taken to extract the baseline value. Finally, let's select the parameters of the chosen training scenario. In trap spaceship, as you can see, we can set the maximum value of increase in percentage with respect to the baseline. This will correspond to the value that the user is expected to reach to successfully complete its trial. We have everything ready. Now we can save the configuration for future sessions. Now, all that remains is to launch the app and start the neurofeedback training. so far the video tutorial of ITACA Neurofeedback training app. I hope it's been helpful. For more information, you can consult the documentation included in its page at MEDUSA web. For any other question or suggestion, don't hesitate to write us to the ITACA discussion thread in MEDUSA forum.